So how did you like working for a family business, a big family business? I liked it so much that I tried to outdo Gorman Publishing Company, and my attitude about nepotism was, it's great as long as you don't have any neps. And so, over the years, I was fortunate enough to have 5 to 6 of my family in the company at one time. My motivation was probably a little different than Bill's, though. After spending all that money in college educations, I wanted a return on my investment. So over the years, I can only say, watching how Gorman did it, I'm not sure that I would have been encouraged to have a family business if I didn't know that it worked or could work. But seeing that experience and being a part of that experience, it could if it was done properly. There was no favoritism. And they had to prove themselves, as you know, family businesses. People who are in the family have to do a little bit better than anyone else. And so the next part of this is going to bring up people who know Bill and the Gorman clan better than we do. And that's the Gorman girls. And the first one is going to come up with comments, I believe, is Julie. Thank you. Julie Ross.
Public speaking gene, by the way. I did not inherit it from my dad, so bear with me for a moment, please. Hello, everyone. On behalf of Bill and Viv's family, I want to thank you all for coming tonight and say how proud we are of our dad and Uncle John. To introduce you, I'm Julie. This is my sister Bonnie and her husband Ron, Peggy and her husband Ron, Amy and her husband Larry, who's doing the filming, and our sister Kathy, who is not able to come tonight because she's ill. Tonight's tribute is focused on Bill and John, but Gorman Publishing Company would not have been what it was without the support and commitment of their wives, Vivian and Pam, and brother Tom, who is editor-in-chief on Bakery. And I want to introduce you to another Gorman girl, who's Gina, who's Uncle Tom's daughter, and her husband, Randy. Speaking for Bill's daughters, whether we worked at Gorman Publishing or not, we lived it growing up and into adulthood. In the earliest days, we were little girls. This is the 60s. And it meant changes in our lives, and we didn't see much of Dad for a while. We had new chores like pasting new product releases on little cards, too. No idea at the time what we were doing, but we were doing it, and it was kind of fun. At the family dinner table, Gorman Publishing stories and discussions were often the topic. Like many parents raising children, behaviors such as leaving your socks on the floor or bad grades meant so much more. But to my dad, they were the fodder for training life lessons like setting goals and strategizing successes. I wish I'd paid more attention in my teens. Looking back, Peggy says it was like living with a motivational speaker. Yes, and our mom was in the human resources role, nurturing and defining our strengths. Working at Gorman, we could see Dad's skills in action in the world larger than our home, and we learned so much more. The highly entrepreneurial style of Bill and John extended beyond themselves and their personal achievements to building a culture where people were empowered to grow and excel and sometimes leave. With the blending of Bill and John's talents, to name just a few, savvy marketing, risk-taking, customer focus, competitive sales, aggressive business tactics, the company grew and positively affected so many lives. When you think about it, all of us in the room here tonight for the tribute and beyond were influenced both professionally and personally by that culture and those relationships. Gorman was more than a company. It was a legacy conceived and strongly led by John and Bill and cultivated by family members and employees alike. As family, the influence of these dynamic men. See, I got the crying gene. The influence of these dynamic men is alive in our lives and in our children's and will be for generations to follow.